Bitcoin is really dropping all the way to the downside. That is not good for any person, and this is not what we've been expecting. Market is actually moving downward. Remember, in my last price analysis video, I talked about the fact that market is going to come back down into this very area, and the breakout here is going to send us into this very level. You can check out that analysis if you are in doubt. So from this very point, what next for the price of Bitcoin? That is what everybody's talking about right now. What next for the price of Bitcoin? If you look at ETH is actually dropping to my expected level. After this area, what next as well? In this video, I'm going to answering this question right here. Can we still expect another pump this very year? When I mean another pump, I mean significant pump. Can we expect a significant pump this year? I will answer this in this video. And are we doomed for the next 1 year? Because a lot of persons are saying that we are doomed. The bear market is here and market is going to come back down. Things are going to get worse and worse and worse. I will answer this as well. And which level is the next target? So if you see we are not doomed, what can you say? Which level of price is the next target for us coming back down? I will answer this as well. And finally, what should I do if my portfolio is down 80 to 90%? What should I do? I will answer all of these in detail in this video. So pay attention, watch this video all the way to the very end. Not only that, I'm going to show you 2 coins to 3 maybe that is going to be on steroid from this moment all the way to the upside. Pay attention, watch it gradually, and this is very important. The most important thing here is the fact that you can see that yesterday saylor actually bought some BTC. Look at it right here. This guy bought 397 Bitcoin worth $45.6 million. And this is very important. And a lot of people like saylor, private company, have been buying into their treasuries. And this is very, very important because with this and the ETF accumulation, I strongly believe that Bitcoin is not going to crash into the $50K. Of course, that is what a lot of people are projecting, between $70K and $50K. That may happen, okay, because everything is possible in crypto. Of course, at the end of this video, you may see that my ideas are very, very crazy, but I can tell you, I am sure of what I am talking about from on-chain data, fundamental data, and technical data. So from this very standpoint, I don't think that is one of the things I want to debunk. I don't think that Bitcoin is going to come down to $50K. It's possible, but that is not what I am personally expecting right now on the price of BTC. So from here, what next for the price of Bitcoin? Look at it right here. Market is actually coming back down with aggressive candles. Can things change? Yes, of course. Look at it at this very point. This very area right here is my first point of interest. This very point between this very area of $102,000 and this very area of $100K. So market come into this very point as we are seeing right now. I still expect the market to come back down a little bit into this area between this very area of 100K. Market should bounce off. Okay, we should see a bounce from this very area, and of course this very point is going to act as a critical resistance. What that means is, as we see the market coming back down right now, expect a little push into this very area, and then market is going to bounce off into this very point. A breakout here is a significant hope for every one of us. If the market breaks here, I am very sure that the market is going to come into this very area of 115K. But that is not what you should be paying attention to right now. What you should be paying attention to right now is if this very point break. That is, if we see a breakout of this very area of important support, because this is the current support right now that we have on price action, which is very, very integral. So if we break out here, what next? Look at this right at this very point. This is where I am a certain price to enter if we see a breakout of this very point right at this very area. I am expecting market to come into this very point between the $95,000 and this very area of $92,000. That is my price projection. So a breakout here on the price of Bitcoin is going to send us into this very area. And of course, you know what that means? What that means is that altcoins are going to bleed. Altcoins are going to bleed. Very important. So I am not expecting this very breakout to be very, very severe. It will break and then come back down gradually and then begin to push all the way to the upside. So for me, since the market is almost at this very area, it means that 50% chance the market is going to break and come down at this very point. Very, very important. So don't pay deaf ear to this. 50% chance market is going to break here, and if that happens, which have a greater possibility, 50%, like I said, is going to come into this very area. And this is my last point, in my opinion, for market to begin to recover all the way to the upside. However, 50% chance, if the market did not break here, then we're going to see the market begin to recover into this very area. Of course, we can see market go back down a little bit, grab liquidity a little bit off this very level, and then begin to move all the way to the upside. In fact, that is what I am really paying attention to. That is market not coming into this very area, market just coming back down, grab liquidity, and then begin to run all the way to the upside. This is what I am now looking at on price action. So that I've answered this very question right here. Which price level is the next target? The next target is what you are seeing right here and this very point. So pay attention to this. Now, one important thing here, guys, that you ought to pay attention to is the fact that personally, this is my personal opinion right now, I'm expecting that in the next 10 to 15 days, we should see Bitcoin stabilize from today. In the next 10 to 15 days, between 10 to 15 days, okay, starting from this very day, I am expecting a stability in the price of Bitcoin. Okay, I am not expecting crazy drop anymore after 10 to 15 days. That may sound very crazy to you, but that is what I am expecting. In the next 10 to 15 days, stability in the price of Bitcoin. And after that, we should see Bitcoin begin to climb all the way to the upside and a possible creation of a high that is higher than this very point of 116 and 115k dollars at this very point. So in the next 10 to 15 days, what I'm expecting is for the market come back down and then we see stability. Okay, very important. So between 10 to 15 days, pay attention to that, guys. Is very, very important. So this is what you must have to pay attention to. Remember, I am on the 1-day chart. If I switch back to the 4-hour chart, on the immediate short term, you may be asking, on the immediate short term, what are you expecting? Look at it right here. Because if you look at the broader perspective of price action, and then you have to come back to the immediate short term. On the immediate short term, I am expecting this very long move to end right here, okay? At this very price level of $103k dollars and this very price level of $101,000. Between this area, I am expecting the market to move upward for retracement. Very importantly, I see again between this very point of $103k dollars, where the market is right now at this very point, and $101,000, okay, market should retrace, and that should happen in the next couple of hours. And this is what I'm personally looking at. That means this very impulsive move have already come to an end, in my opinion, and we should see a bounce off of the market for relaxation and then the next move to the downside. This is what you need to pay attention to on the immediate short term on the 4-hour chart right here. And if you look at ETH right here, ETH 1-day chart, market has broken out of this very level. I talked about this in my last price action video on this very channel, and right now we're seeing market coming into this very point of interest. So for me, market should have to break out here, which is also a 50-50 possibility. Market can break 50% and come back down, and we can see the market from here begin to move all the way to the upside. And the worst case scenario you should be paying attention to on the price of ETH is this very area right here that I want to show you. So from this very point into this very area is my worst price level I am expecting this market to drop into, which is a high possibility on price action right now. Of course, right now the market is trading at $3,494 and if you look at this very area, if the market have possibility to break and the market is already in this very point, it has not broken yet, but that possibility is there 50%. Which level should be the next area you should pay attention to? This very point is the next level, very important. So expect that 50% of the time market is going to break here, 50% possibility, then a breakout is going to send us into this very area, and then we're going to see stability as well in the market to the upside in the next 10 to 15 days. This is my personal opinion, okay? I am not saying what somebody said. Based on my technical data, based on my on-chain data, based on what I am seeing through fundamental data, this is what I am expecting right now. It may sound crazy to you, but this is what I'm expecting. Just wait in the next 10 to 15 days and see what plays out on price action. Then you should come back and say you were wrong or you were right. Very, very important. And if you're looking at something very different from what I am talking about right now, you can comment below in the comment section of this very video or join this very channel right here for prompt attention. I am going to reply you directly on the discussion group. Join right now, the link in the description of this very video. It is a free Telegram channel. So this is what I am expecting on the price of ETH on the 1 day chart, very importantly. And if you switch back to the 4-hour chart right here, looks very, very cool. I am expecting that the market should not drop any further on the price of ETH. I am not expecting any further aggressive drop into this very area. I'm not expecting that anymore on this very price action from where the market is right now of $3,481 and this very level right here of 3,300 or 3,350. Market should from here retrace upward, very important. So this is what I am not looking at on the price of ETH/USDT 4-hour chart on the immediate short term from now moving forward. So from here, expect the market to bounce off for retracement. Of course, this is an impulsive move, so retracement should come into the market before continuation to the upside, to the downside, sorry. So I am not saying that market will not be coming back down anymore, but of course, as you know, markets after every impulsive move do have retracement, just like we've seen at this very point. Market move impulse, we see retracement. Market has already moved the impulse, so we should see retracement as well in the market to the upside, and that is what I am now expecting on the price of ETH 4-hour chart on the immediate short term from now moving forward. This is what you need to pay attention to right now, guys, which is very, very important. So if I come back to this very question right here, can we still expect any pump this year? I can tell you yes. In my opinion, I am expecting a very significant pump close to the end of November into December and January. I'm expecting crazy pump in the crypto market. Now this may sound off from what we are seeing on price action. I'm telling you for sure, this may sound very, very crazy and off from what we are seeing on price action, but this is my personal opinion. I'm not saying you should buy anything, but this is what I am looking at right now. So you may be looking at something very different. Maybe the market crashing to $50,000 or maybe Bitcoin crashing to $70,000. That is not my opinion. I'm just telling you what I am looking at on price action, and I stick to my data. And if I have a change of data, I'm going to tell you as well after that very pump, and I believe that pump is going to come in before the end of this year, especially close to the end of November entering into December, we should see a sign that that very significant pump is going to come into the market. So that is what I'm expecting. And are we doomed for the next 1 year? I can tell you no, we are not doomed in the next 1 year. Things are going to stabilize and things are going to turn out to be bullish. And this is my opinion as well, and I've shown the price level you should expect on the price of ETH and also BTC. Of course, I cannot do price analysis on all the tokens that we have out there, but if you pay attention to these two, which are very critical, ETH for altcoins and Bitcoin for the overall crypto market, then you should expect the price of what you are holding to dump if any other thing happen on the price of ETH and BTC. That is, if we see a dump on these two, expect what you are holding to begin to crash all the way to the downside. And if we see market recovery, you should also expect market recovery in your portfolio. So the next question is, what should I do now that my portfolio is 80% to 90% down? I would advise, in my opinion, that you should leave your portfolio. In fact, better don't check your portfolio oftentimes. Leave it and allow the market to stabilize. In my opinion, I still believe we still have one more move before I can talk about anything bear market. And this is my personal opinion, guys. I am still expecting one more crazy move in the price of Bitcoin all the way to the upside, and this is going to happen in my opinion. I don't know the exact time, but I've given you the time frame between 10 to 15 days. We should expect stability. First thing first, stability, and then market is going to move to the upside. I'm going to share with you as well my price analysis once we see stability. The next target for the price of Bitcoin, a new all-time high. Is it 150k? Is it 200k dollars? I am going to show you on this very channel. As you can see right here, I just dropped this poll 5 to 4 hours ago. How will Bitcoin and crypto end in November? You can see that 19 persons have voted. Out of 19 persons that have voted, you see 84% are bullish and 16% are bearish. In fact, one of the most important sentimental analysis that I see out there is majority of the people are very bearish. And for the fact that they are bearish when we've not seen anything like bull market, anything like altcoin season, it points to me to the fact that I should be bullish. That is what I am thinking right now, and I am bullish. Nevertheless, market is going to come back down first of all, and then we have stability, as I've talked about right here on this very price analysis. Then we're going to see the market begin to move to the upside, and I'm going to show you 2 to 3 coins that is going to be on steroid from now moving forward. And the first one is Dash. Dash is going to be on steroid, guys. If you look at it, market has been moving in the past few days, and some person think market is going to dump. Remember, market has been dumping, but it keep moving all the way to the upside. And from the longer time frame standpoint, market is going to move all the way to the upside. So from where the market is right now on Dash, we've seen rejection right there. Of course, market has moved about 5 candles, okay, into this very area. Right now, I expect a retracement, but despite the fact that I am expecting retracement within this very area to the downside, market is still going to move all the way to the upside, and that is why I said it's going to be on steroid. When I mean it's going to be on steroid, that does not mean we're not going to see retracement. Of course, retracement is part of market movement. In fact, retracement is what gives health to the next move, either upward or downward. So what I am expecting on the price of Dash is for the market to retrace into this very area right here of 97 and this very area right here of 80, and then it's going to still continue all the way to the upside. So Dash is going to be on steroid, in my opinion, in the next weeks and months. This is going to take some time, but I believe strongly that it's going to play out. So expect the price of Dash to begin to move all the way to the upside with little correction or retracement on the lower time frame. This very coin is definitely, in my opinion, going to be on steroid all the way to the upside, and this is very important. Now remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm just giving you my opinion and my take on this very token right here. If you look at ICP is the next one, and you look at it, guys, this very guy right here, ICP in question, have come down to this very point after President Trump leaked that tweet of 100% tariff on China because of that rare earth dispute. And we know that that very challenge have been solved by a meeting between President Trump and the Chinese president. And since then, we've seen the market begin to stabilize, and right now market is going upward. Now, from other standpoint, on-chain data standpoint and fundamental standpoint, including what I am seeing on price action, I believe strongly that this is also the beginning of a crazy pump on ICP all the way to the upside. I believe strongly that ICP is going to also be on steroid and is going to move crazily all the way to the upside. And when I mean that, that does not mean that we are not going to see retracement. Remember, I am on the 1-day chart. Look at it right here, 1-day chart. So market is going to continue this movement upward, and then retracement is going to continue upward, retracement, and it's going to continue like that. The most important thing is we're going to see this very token begin to make advances, moving bullishly all the way to the upside, and this is what I am looking at right now. So this is going to be on steroid. I'll be doing videos on this very coin, Dash, and also ICP in the near future. The last one right here is BTCUSDT. If you look at this very token, discover that market has moved upward, come back down, moved upward, not very aggressively, but we've seen a breakout, and that is why I just brought this out right here. Look at it, market just broke out of this very area, and I believe that this is going to be on steroid as well in the next weeks and months. So this is what you need to pay attention to. This is very, very important, and these three coins, in my opinion, are going to be on steroid from now moving forward. Now, I am expecting the next weeks and months to be very, very bullish on this very price action and these three tokens from now moving forward. So this is what you need to expect on this three coin that is going to be on steroid from now moving forward. Let's take a look at Pi USDT and look at what the market is going to do for pioneers out there. Maybe you've been thinking whether I'm not going to do a video on Pi. Of course, I did a video on Pi in my last analysis, and I told you that the market is going to retrace, and the level is at this very point. Of course, if you've been following me on this channel, you discover that the market is actually coming into that very area. I told you that this very pump is not going to continue and that market is going to come back down, and the exact same thing we are seeing right now on price action. Market is actually coming back down at this very point where I marked out on price action. So what I am expecting on the price of Pi right now is this to still come back down. Of course, I've told you guys that Pi looks to me completely like a pump and dump token. So I will not be shocked if the market come back down and break out on this very level of important support. Okay, I will not be shocked because markets have that greater capacities. 60% market is going to break out here and then come back to this very point before we can see any form of stability on the price of Pi to the upside. However, on the immediate short term, what you should pay attention to is for the market to come into these very points. That is what I am looking at right now. So if you are a pioneer, you are mining Pi, you are an investor in Pi, please pay attention to this. Is very important. Or if there is anything you want to do, maybe you bought here and you're thinking market is going to begin to skyrocket because of this very move we saw right here last week, I think otherwise. I think that the market is going to come back down, just like I said last week in my Saturday video, that market is going to correct from here, and that is what we are seeing right now. So still expect the market to dip more all the way to the downside. This is very important. Pay attention to these guys to be in the right direction of the market. And if you come to coin market cap, it is called that the global crypto market capitalization have actually have significant decline, $3.48 trillion. This is very, very serious, of course, but I believe we're going to have a sharp recovery very, very soon. And if you look at the fear and greed index 27, very, very fearful, and the altcoin index right here 27, not good. I still want to see 65 and 70. Will that come to pass? Nobody knows, but I believe it's going to shift into that very region where we see the market begin to pump all the way to the upside. Look at the average crypto RSI. It has been within this very area for a very long time, so this is not overbought, this is still oversold, and that point to me that the market still have capacity of moving into this very area of overbought condition. In fact, it is only when I see this at overbought condition plus many other parameters on chain, off chain, technical that I'm looking at, that I can now say that the market is going to begin to come down for a bearish market, not a bear season. And this is very, very important. So pay attention to all of these guys to be in the right direction of the market. If you've not joined the channel, please join right now, link in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. It is a free Telegram channel. If you gain value from this video, please consider leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.